Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Musarrat and you are watching 5 W's of English Literature. Today's caption is Who. Under the caption of Who, we will discuss who is Alexander Pope. Alexander Pope is the writer of the famous The Rape of the Lock. This is the introduction of Alexander Pope. Alexander Pope was the poet, writer and translator of the early 18th century. Pope is best known for his satirical poetry. Date of birth is 21st May 1688, the year of the Glorious Revolution. Birthplace London, England. Date of death 30 May 1744. Resting place St. Mary's Church, Twickenham, Middlesex, England. Pope's age was 56. Pope never married but had lifelong female friends, including Lady Mary Wortley Montagu. It has been alleged that his lifelong friend Martha Blonde was his lover. Pope's father's name was Alexander, mother's name Edith. Parents' religion Roman Catholic. Father's occupation a wholesale linen merchant in the Strand. These are some achievements that Pope achieved by his poetic career. Pope is regarded as one of the greatest English poets and the foremost poet of the early 18th century. After Shakespeare, Pope is the second most quoted writer in the English language per the Oxford Dictionary of Quotations. Some of his verses have become popular idioms in common parlance. For example, a little learning is a dangerous thing. To err is human, to forgive divine. He is one of the most epigrammatic of all English authors. He is considered a master of the heroic couplet. After having known these achievements of Pope, one can think that Pope might be a privileged person in his life. But Pope's life is a specimen of continuous struggle and indomitable spirit in the face of these disadvantages of health, of circumstances. Let's have a detail of Pope's life. Pope's parents were Roman Catholics. There were two sects in England at that time, Roman Catholics and Protestants. Due to their religion, the family had to face strong anti-Catholic sentiment and they also fell subject to the Test Acts, one statute preventing papists from living within 10 miles of London or Westminster, another from attending public school or university, banned Catholics from teaching, attending a university, voting and holding public office on penalty of perpetual imprisonment. So, for this reason, in 1700, his family moved to a small estate at Pope's Wood in Binfield, Berkshire, that was close to the Royal Windsor Forest. Pope named his poem on Windsor Forest in the future. Pope's education was affected by the Test Acts. For this reason, Pope was largely self-educated. He was taught to read by his aunt and became a lover of books. Pope went to Twyford School in about 1698 and 99. That was an illegal school. Pope not only faced social restrictions, he also suffered numerous health problems. When he was 12, began struggling with tuberculosis of the spine, along with fits of crippling headaches which troubled him throughout his life. He grew to a height of only 1.37 meter, but the grace of his profile and fullness of his eye gave him an attractive appearance. He was a lifelong sufferer from headaches, and his deformity made him abnormally sensitive to physical and mental pain. Pope was already removed from society as a Catholic, and his poor health alienated him further. As a result, his energetic, fastidious mind was largely directed to reading and writing. Pope's formal education ended in 1700, and from then on, he mostly educated himself by reading the works of classical writers such as the satirists Horace and Juvenal, the epic poets Homer and Virgil, as well as English authors such as Geoffrey Chaucer, William Shakespeare, and John Dryden. He studied many languages and read works by English, French, Italian, Latin, and Greek poets, which he managed to teach himself. Pope was a precocious boy and incessant scribbler, turning out verse upon verse in imitation of the poets he read. At Binfield, Pope made many important friends, one of them John Carroll, the future dedicatee of the Rape of the Lock, was 20 years older than the poet and had made many acquaintances in the London literary world. As I told you earlier that Pope was a precocious child, Pope showcased his precocious metrical skill with these early writings. Ode on Solitude, a paraphrase of Saint Thomas A. Kempis, both of which he claimed to have written at age 12. Pastorals in 1709 at the age of 21, and it was his first major poem. An essay on criticism on 15 May 1711, by the time when he was 23, and it was first published anonymously. Windsor Forest on March 1713. Pope described the countryside around his house in Binfield in this poem. The Rape of the Lock, perhaps the poet's most famous poem, appeared first in 1712 with 2 cantos, followed by revised and enlarged versions in 1714 with 3 cantos. Translation of the Iliad by Homer appeared between 1715 and 1720. The Dunciad in 1728. His target in this poem was the Whig politician Robert Walpole. In his career as a satirist, the critics, politicians, and certain other prominent figures felt the sting of his sharp-witted satires, and some were so virulent. According to Pope's half-sister, some of Pope's targets were so enraged by the Dunciad that they threatened him. After the publication of the Denunciate, Pope didn't walk alone and even carried pistols while walking his dog. Today's quote is: "Charm strikes the sight, but merit wins the soul," by Alexander Pope. If you like my video, please hit the like button and share my video to your fellows. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.